I can fight monsters, I can't fight physics.
Okay, so thanks for this question. So this is, again, I think it's paper 1, 2019. So question 33, one of the multiple choice. So the reading on the voltmeter halves when the switch is closed. Okay, so if you call the battery EMF E, okay, and obviously now they're telling us there's a little internal resistor there. Okay, so when you close the switch, then what happens to V? V becomes half, so that must mean it's E over 2. Okay, there's two ways to go about this. Let's just do the one that you'd most likely go to. So this is a question about internal resistance. Okay, so we know this formula. The sum of the EMFs is equal to the sum of the PDs. There's two PDs. There's one across the 2 ohm resistor. Okay, let's call that V. And there's one PD, there's an energy loss across the internal resistor. So there's a V equals IR there. So that's and don't forget, that's known as the loss volts, isn't it? Not a technical term, but you can still use it. So what do we know? E is equal to E over 2 plus IR. So what is IR? Well, IR is equal to E over 2 also. So what you notice that the PD across the PD across here, that's E over 2. And then, well, across this one is E over 2. So if we've got the same PD, they must have the same resistance. Okay, so same energy loss and same resistance. So it must be C in that sense. So that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it, hopefully that should make sense to you. The other way to look at it, if you wanted, you could have done the potential divider argument. Okay, so if you think about it, what is V? V is equal to the resistance of the resistor. Let's call this R. Over the total resistance, R plus R, times by E, EMF. Okay, so let's put a bracket around that, so it looks a bit neat. Now, what do we know? Well, we know V is E over 2, isn't it? Is equal to, I'll put it this side, E times R over R plus R. Okay, so actually, let's just put some numbers in there now. Well, actually, E's cancelled, don't they? So you're left with a half is equal to R is 2 over 2 plus R. So what I can do, I can sort of cross multiply, can't I? So I take 2 plus R over to this side, and the 2 in the half over to the other side, that becomes 4. So R is simply 2. So you could have done it that way also. All right. So two ways to look at it. I would have gone to the internal resistance formula straight away. But essentially, what is an internal resistor? It's just another resistor in series. So basically, you've got a potential divider circuit, two resistors in series. Okay.